Let's chat.
Hello, Kunanan. Thanks for joining Eye on the Biz today. Today we are at a seminar organized by Thailand Convention and Exhibition Bureaus. And the topic of today's seminar is the challenges of the coming AEC or ASEAN Economic Community, how the public sector is prepared for the MICE business. I think it's probably a good idea how for our program to start with talk about a little bit on the AEC or ASEAN Economic Community. What is the objective and goals of the AEC?
Right. For the ASEAN Economic Committee has an aim to promote the movement of the goods and the services and skilled labor among the ASEAN country. Like we opened up for the free trade market and to make single market. And at the same time, the AEC aims also to enhance the competitiveness of ASEAN among the global economy, because to make ASEAN is strong, we need to do something, and AEC is a tool to achieve that goal. In 2015, it is the timeline that we have to go. And I believe that now Thailand is prepared for that goal.
And as I have learned, the enforcement of AEC will be in December 2015. Are all the current 10 members of ASEAN will all join the AEC by December 2015? Yeah.
I believe so, because this is, the agreement that the ASEAN countries will have to follow, and Thailand for sure will be one of them to be the AEC, because AEC is one pillar among the three pillars. And I think that by that time, hopefully all the ASEAN members can enter to the AEC. But if there is any incidents or any things that make some members cannot join the AEC, well, our member countries should consult each other whether or not we should wait for other friends to join later.
Okay. And since you represent the Department of Consular Affairs of the Foreign Ministry, could you tell us a little bit what will be the integration of the consular affairs among the ASEAN with the coming of the AEC?
Every year, we have the meeting of the head of the Immigration Bureau and also the Director General of the Consular Affairs Department, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the ASEAN countries. In that stage, we have a consultation on the ASEAN single visa, whether or not we can achieve to be like we try to follow the Schengen scheme. The idea is more or less the same, but to achieve that, we need to have some meeting, we have to consult and try to solve the difficulties or some conditions in every member's country. Especially, we have different laws, regulations. However, we hope that sooner or later we will have the ASEAN single visa. After we had just launched the ACMEC single visa between Thailand and Cambodia from last December of 2012.
Okay. Before we go to those more specific stage of the visa. So the consular, the integration of consular affair of ASEAN now, the main concern, the main issue will be the visa issue, right?
Right. Yes.
For the movement of people.
And I think apart from the visa, we also have the immigration regulation as well. Visa and immigration normally comes along together.
Okay, but since you represent the consular affairs, so we will focus on the visa issue. So maybe you can tell a little bit now, currently, among all people of the 10 ASEAN countries, can we go to each other without visa?
At this moment, Thailand and other ASEAN countries, we can travel to one another without visa for the 10 ASEAN countries, except Myanmar. Because Thailand and Myanmar have not yet the agreement or the bilateral agreement that we will exempt the visa of these two countries. But the rest, yes, people can travel without visa.
And are we, Thailand and Myanmar, are working on the issue? Are we discussing of on the exemption of visa in the near future? Are we working on that?
I believe so, because if we can have the exemption of visa between Thailand and Myanmar, it will be a progressive step for the rest of the ASEAN members to have more movement of our people in the region. And I think probably near 2015, we should have some more good news.
So we don't, the two countries have not set a deadline yet?
Not yet. But we just in the stage of consultation and some approaching.
Okay, so first of all, we can hope that before the arrival of the enforcement of the AC by the end of 2015, at least Thai people can go to Myanmar without a visa, and Myanmar people can come to Thailand without a visa as well. And Kunanan had mentioned something more here about what you call ASEAN single visa, and you also talk about the what you call ACMEC.
ACMEC single visa.
So can you? So now ACMEC has implemented. Implemented already between Thailand and Cambodia. Could you tell us the history of the ACMEC? When did it start, and what is the implementation now?
Right. Originally, the ACMEC was from the name of Economic Cooperation Strategy, and then it changed the name to ACMEC. It stands for Irrawaddy, Chao Phraya, Mekong Economic Cooperation Strategy, or we just call ACMEC.
The name of the river, the main river in this region, yeah.
And it starts from the year 2003, and until now, 2013, we have many developments of the economic cooperation, and ACMEC single visa is one of the cooperation that we try to boost or promote the tourism of the members of the ACMEC. However, we start from Thailand and Cambodia first, because these two countries were ready, and we try to make it as a pilot project. The idea of the ACMEC single visa is more or less the same like Schengen visa. That means if you apply the visa and you get the visa from the Thai embassy abroad, once you come to Thailand, okay, the immigration officer will consider and allow you to come to enter to Thailand. And if you wish to further travel to Cambodia, you just use this visa to enter to Cambodia. But in practice, you need to pay some fee before going to Cambodia. And likewise, if you get the visa from Cambodia, once you come to Thailand, you need to pay the fee.
So now you still have to pay for the fee twice.
Yes.
Even though that you don't need to you don't need to get another visa for the second country, but you still need to pay a certain fee before you enter the second country.
Right.
Yeah.
And there is some conditions for the nationalities who can apply for this kind of visa. There are only 35 nationalities agree in the agreement between the two countries.
Where people can find the names of these 35 names of countries.
Let me give some examples, like Japan, United States, American, British, Irish. Most of the countries are the countries that Thailand give the exempt of visa already. And for these 35 countries, you can find this information in our website of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, www.mfa.go.th, or the Department of Consular Affairs, www.consular.go.th as well.
We have learned from Kun Anand about what is called APEC, single visa, which is currently start with between Thailand and Cambodia. And hopefully in the near future, 3 more countries will join, which will be Laos, Myanmar, and Vietnam,
yes.
which is all our close neighbor. Please stay tuned with us. We will learn more from Kun Anand about the even higher goals of ASEAN, which will be the single visa among all the 10 members of ASEAN.